When I first came to Australia, I was so naive and I made a couple of terrible mistakes. I mean, looking back at those mistakes now, I'm like, gosh, what was I even thinking? I mean, some of them are actually very hilarious and some of them were very, very dangerous. So, in this video, I'm going to outline these mistakes and I want you to sit back to the end of this video because the last mistake is actually very, very funny. And this is also very important for those who are trying to relocate to a new country, or maybe it's your first day in a new country. I think you can learn one or two things from the mistakes I already made. So if you are that person, then sit back to the end of this video and please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. The first mistake I want to talk about is shaking your superiors with two hands. If you are from Nigeria or if you are from Africa, I think it's mostly practiced in West Africa where when younger people try to shake hands with older people, they do it with two hands. That's like a sign of respect. It's just normal. It's what we are used to. So I remember the first time I came here, it happened to me, and when I tried to do that, the person I did it for or to, he was just kind of surprised, and then my friend told me that, come on, you can't do that here. So this place is different. You don't have to shake people with two hands here because to them it's like a bit too much. Even if the person is your superior, even if the person is your boss, he doesn't expect that. Just one hand is enough. It's just a Western thing. It's a sign of respect. As long as you're shaking a man, just use one hand. So the whole tradition of two, I'm not saying it's bad, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad to shake your elders with two hands, but it is widely accepted back home, Nigeria, West Africa, or many other African countries. But in countries like this, it's foreign, like it's not something you easily see. So that's why when you do that to someone, the person is like confused. He doesn't know what to do with that. He doesn't understand what you're trying to do. Whether you're trying to grab his hands. It was actually very funny when it happened to me. So I learned that lesson very, very fast. So if you are also in a similar shoe, maybe you just relocated to a new country, please just use one hand. It's not a sign of disrespect. It's normal. It's normal. Now, the second mistake I made was always addressing my superiors with sir. Back home, as I always say, because I lived in Nigeria all my life, you don't just call someone by his name, or especially, let's say, because I've been in the academics for a very long time, you don't just call someone who is a doctor or a professor, you don't just call the person his name. You always have to address the person by his title. Oh, prof, oh, doc, oh, sir. But here, nobody cares about that. Even if the person is the prof of the university, I mean, the person wants you to address him by his name. If the person's name is, let's say, Professor Matthew Higgins, for example, he just wants you to call him Matthew or Matt. He doesn't want you to start adding prof or sir or doctor or this or, they don't care much about those things. Maybe when they're doing a memo or when they're sending out emails, they can always add that at the end of the meet for you to know it's them. But when you meet them in person, they really appreciate if you call them by their first name. So calling people by their first name, honestly, it didn't come easy to me because I'm not used to that. Where I'm from, it's a sign of disrespect calling your elder person or your elder brother or a superior or a boss by his first name. I mean, it's actually a serious offense. From my university back home in Nigeria, I've seen students get in trouble for things like this. Like, you don't, so let's say someone is a prof and you call the person doctor, the person can actually get agitated and get very, very offended because you called him doctor instead of prof. So title is a big thing. It's a very, very big thing back home. So I carried that in my head when I came here. I said, people don't even want you to. They just call him his first name. Even ladies don't want you to call them madam. They don't want you to call them all because they just feel it's a bit too much. And some of them will even tell you that, it makes them feel so old, and they just want you to call them by their first name. If the person's first name is Sarah, even if the person is the head of Australia, just call the person Sarah. Even if, like for example, the Prime Minister of Australia, just call him by his first name if you have to meet with him. I mean, that's just how it's done here. It's surprising, it's shocking, but now I've adapted to it, and I also prefer people to call me by my first name. I don't know. Now, another mistake I made was calling people fat. I mean, I'm sorry because at this point now, staying here, I feel it's a little bit offensive. Maybe because I stayed here for a while, but back in the days, I don't see it as offensive. I just see it as being straight with the person. So I actually almost got into trouble because of this, just because I was trying to describe someone. I was like, oh, you know that fat girl, you know. Then I don't even want to go into that story. But the thing is that you don't call people fat. It's regarded as body shaming here. So what you say is that maybe the person is chubby or the person is plumpy, or just look for something nice, but don't say fat. Don't just say fat. You might think it's a stupid rule. I'm not saying don't just call people fat. This is taken from someone who has been here for at least 2 years. Don't call people fat in Australia. Now, another mistake I made, I disregarded the queue one time because I know it's always good when you come, you just queue. But I saw my friends in the queue, so what we usually do, maybe like back home, even if you see your friends, you can just like, it's cool, you just join them in the queue and then you guys go. But I tried to do it here, and obviously the person behind me, he wasn't happy about that. But the thing is that I've seen other people do it and it's fine. I don't know why mine didn't work out that day, so because we always have this every Wednesday, the university gives us free fruits and vegetables and stuff for us to eat. So a lot of students come for that. I used to go. So it just happened one time. So the thing is that just join the queue, even if you see your friends in the middle, because sometimes it's embarrassing when someone starts speaking out and then you're trying to make the person see reasons and he doesn't see reasons, and it's just fine. It's just better you go to the back of the queue. I believe what I did was all right, trying to hold the queue and join my friends so we'll go together. But the thing is that I've seen other people do it. It just didn't work out for me when I did it. So that's what I have to say. Then the last rule, which is actually very hilarious, this almost got me killed. It's jaywalking. Honest to God, when I first came to Australia, I did not understand the concept of crossing the roads using the road walks, the zebra crossing and stuff. I didn't understand that because here, when you get to where you want to cross the road, there is something you hit, you press it, and then it gives you a green signal for you to move. When you have that green signal, the cars has to stop, of course, so that you move. So when I wanted to cross, because back home in Nigeria, you know how we cross the road. When you're just tired of walking in the left lane, you just look around, look left, look right, you look left again. That's all we were taught. You just cross the road, and I thought it's the same thing here. So I didn't know here it's actually a crime for you to jaywalk. So I was trying to cross the road. It was a busy road, so I already checked left. I didn't even know that road speed limit was like 70 or 80, around 70 or so. I just looked left, looked right. So because in Nigeria, what we usually do is that when you want to cross the road, a car can see you from afar and then he will slow down a bit, say someone is trying to cross the road. But I'm telling you what happened to me. I wanted to cross the road, and I believe the guy saw me from a far distance. I was just walking the way we usually do. You can walk, the driver can just slow down for you. But this guy did not slow down for me. He was coming on high speed, like he wanted to hit me. So when I saw it, I ran. And then I was like, Jesus, does this guy actually want to kill me on this one? And then the funny thing is that just like 30 meters away, there was like a crosswalk there. So probably the guy was wondering, why didn't I just go use the crosswalk? Although I think what the guy did was wrong, because it was as if he deliberately wanted to hit me, and he missed me by just a bit. And I know I was wrong, but I still don't think what he did was very weird. But then it happened again when I first came. This one, it happened in the bus lane. There's because the buses, they have where they go, like there's a different path, a different route for them. So I was looking around for where to cross. I did not see, and no one told me. So I tried to cross through and that place was kind of like a bending corner. I didn't know that a bus was coming. The bus was also moving on high speed. So it's just so crazy. These things are things that could have ended maybe catastrophically or badly, but I just thank God that it didn't end badly. So jaywalking is actually a crime in a lot of places in Australia. Trying to cross the road without the sign turning green. So I'm lucky I didn't get in trouble doing that. But the truth is that I was actually naive. I did not know any better. So at least after a few weeks, I started asking questions and then started seeing what other people are doing. I'm like, oh my God, is this for real? So that's how I missed getting hit by a car when I first came to Australia. So I mean, these are just a couple of just very few mistakes, because I tell you I've made a lot of mistakes, but I don't want to start saying all of them in this video or in this episode. Maybe in subsequent episodes I might say more, but these are just the few ones I thought about today that just made me laugh, and I felt okay, I'm going to share it with you guys. So if you found them interesting or educative or informative, then please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And I'm going to be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye for now.